And with that, we're recording. Give me 1 second to set up the scene. Here comes the scene. And we have a number of companions hanging out at the Welcome Wench, having a discussion about recent events at the Goblin Hole, and with this new entity that we found out about, Lazarus the Necromancer. So with that, I'll allow the companions to take it from here.
So Madaranga will move forward. He says, so currently what we know is that we had the Goblin Hole with goblins that continually kept getting refilled via a portal. Then we had some of those goblins that we rescued, and the Hobgoblins, Stephanie, that we brought out. She ran off into the bush and she joined a group of renegades, Hobgoblins and Goblins. Now from them we know that there is another entity that fills that Goblin Hole called Lazarus. Lazarus, he created another group from the dead. And they were the black and white goblins and Hobgoblins. They seem to be projecting themselves in some manner. But what is really interesting is that the way that the bodies used to be distributed. When we fought in the Goblin Hole and killed the goblins, we would sell those bodies to the Orc Slayers Guild. Now we know the connection. The Orc Slayers Guild is on selling those bodies back to Lazarus. Let's ponder this. Why is this so, you think? Any ideas?
So Lazarus is giving us the goblins, and then we're selling them back to Lazarus through the Orc Hunters Guild.
Not quite. Lazarus was filling the Goblin Hole with goblins. We would kill them as part of like a quest or mission for the money.
Yeah.
We would then take their dead bodies and sell those dead bodies for the bounty on them to the Orcslayers Guild. Now the Orcslayers Guild was then selling those bodies on to Lazarus, seemed to be performing some ritual of some kind and making these new, much more powerful black and white ones. He is sort of like stocking his own army of undead by using us to create those undead.
Like some evil form of conscription.
Exactly.
Well, this cannot stand.
But I'm more interested in the Orcslayers Guild. They seem to be complicit in this. Or at least the hierarchy would be complicit in it. So, what shall we do? We need to find Lazarus. We know where he currently is residing or where the portal is. And that's in another place called the Orc Hole. Not to be confused with the Oracle, which I don't know where she is anymore. She left a long time ago and I haven't seen her for many years. But the Orc Hole seems to be where it all starts. They must somehow go out and recruit these goblins and hobgoblins, give them promises of riches and adventure. Then they come, they get transported from the Orc Hole via a portal into the Goblin Hole. So it does seem that we have two choices on our next port of call. We either go on to the Orc Hole and try and defeat or find out more, or the one other avenue is if we somehow can find out from the Orc Slayers Guild or hierarchy exactly what is going on in their complicit actions.
Do we have anyone that is good at subterfuge? Infiltration.
I am sure. Whoever, there would be many ways that they can get in. You can pose as a person that wants a membership, etc. But from our talkings to the people who work for the Orc Slayers Guild, it doesn't seem like they have any idea they are complicit in the action of a necromancer or whatever we want to call this Lazarus. I have a feeling that it is the higher ups within the guild, or even the person at the very top of the guild may be the only one who knows that they are complicit in the actions with Lazarus. So, what say you on course of action for this? Do you want a frontal assault or a sneaky assault on the Orc Hole? Or do we want to try and infiltrate the Orc Slayers Guild?
I'm looking around the table.
Best to
Edimus
fight a
has got
bull.
his muzzle deeply buried into the Vegemite.
You shouldn't eat that black stuff. It will kill you one day.
No need to worry. Oh, he's enjoying it. He's feeling life to its fullest. I'll bring him back once he does.
Gross.
Wait, what? Who?
See Orem just looking and smiling at. Go, eat it to your heart's content. If it makes you ill, I shall make you feel much better.
Edimus.
Does anybody know anything about the Orc Slayers Guild? I don't really know much about them.
Actually, do I? Now that he mentions that, sorry. I'm gonna break through here, but I don't reckon that I do.
See Ashtray scratching his chin, trying to think like. I know that we've delivered. I don't think we've ever actually hung out there, or that I have anyway. All that we've done is just drop off dead goblins. We get money.
Has anyone ever tried to join them? I'll take that as a no.
Why would I have?
Have you?
Absolutely.
Never crossed my mind.
So, out of all of us,
Bring more.
who would be the most likely candidate to be an Orc Slayer?
If I could hit it with my bow, I could probably kill it.
Are they evil?
I don't think they are, but most people don't.
Generally speaking, do they attack civilians and innocents?
No, not that they believe.
They are evil. Wait, what?
So we have Orem. Orem, you are a pacifist. No?
Yes. Indeed I am.
So you're probably not a good candidate.
To an extent, anyway. I shall not harm life. But those black and white things that this Lazarus person made. That's I shall destroy. That is not a being of life. That is a being of magic, of annoyance.
Yes. So as I look around the table, for me, the only candidates that could be possible members of the Orc Slayers Guild would be Ash, Cloud and Flame, Clueless, and maybe Edimus, if they don't have too much of a anti-racial bent. So probably not Edimus, you're probably out, my friend. So probably Ash, Cloud and Flame, or Clueless. So, Cloud, what say you? Would you be willing to try and join the Orc Slayers as our insider?
Oh, sneakiness. I like this very much.
Oh, you are
Infiltrate the enemy?
Tabaxi too, I forgot.
Infiltrate enemy. I can do this.
But out of all of those three, the only one that is a normal humanoid in a way is Ash. Clueless, my friend, you are a bird. Cloud, you are a big pussycat. Edimus, you are a tortoise. So really, it only leaves us with you, Ash. Because I think they're pretty anti-racial, just on their actions alone. The name does give it away a bit. So Ash, sorry Cloud, pussy some other time. So Ash, what do you say?
I gotta shoot things with my arrow.
You probably will, but your main job would be to get a membership and get in and try and find out what they're doing.
I could do that. That doesn't seem that hard. They are orc hunters. And I'm a ranger after all.
Yes.
Kind of do.
Good. And the other side of it is to try and reconnoiter, I think, the Orc Hole, to look at their defenses, see if we can find an easier way in than the front door.
Yeah. Best not to charge a bull charging you. You want to sidestep it before the horns get you. I get what you're saying.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but it sounds interesting. Cloud, maybe you can be sneaky. Maybe you can go and check out the Orc Hole. Our good friend, the old Cain, pointed out where it was. So we do know a bit of an idea how to get there. Do you think you could handle that reconnaissance without getting yourself, without getting your pussy fur singed?
Why do you keep calling him that?
I'm sorry.
Is it a tabaxi?
Speaking to me? I thought you had
Yes,
dismissed me.
No, different job. Keep your little ears pricked, my boy. How about you reconnoiter the Orc Hole? Go and have a look at their defenses. See if you can find an easier way in than the front door.
I believe Edimus would be much better suited to this task.
Oh, very well. I just did. Never assumed a tortoise is sneaky. They look very not sneaky.
They're very easy to mistake for a rock. They're very good at this.
Yes, I can
He's
see
very
that.
sneaky. I can assist him if you insist.
Very well, then that's a good idea. Both of you should go. Well, there's only one other thing to discuss. The portal in the Goblin Hole. It keeps filling up with goblins because of the portal. Do we do something about it?
Mm,
About
what do you
this
mean by
time,
do something about it?
about this time, someone says, "Did someone say portal?"
Hmm. I
Hey?
think I'm having issues. Apparently, it's not loading.
Oh yeah. Well,
Hmm.
we have a
Oh, there
very
it goes.
there it is. We have a very curious party who has been, unbeknownst to you, listening in. He has a friend who has echolocation and really good hearing. So when he sees a bunch of curious people hanging out, having a conversation, he's pretty rude about just simply, well, exploiting his capabilities. So with that, you guys are busted. He's heard everything you've been talking about, and this unknown person to you is now pretty rudely barging in on the conversation because he's put two and two together and discovered that he's got something he wants to gain. Now, those of you that are paying attention to doing the math on two and figuring out what four means are probably curious about what he's doing. The rest of you are probably happy that someone wants to help, but some of you might be a little curious about this little guy. So I'll stop narrating and let you guys get back to conversating.
Hmm. Could not help over here. You talking about this portal? This portal that is in the Goblin Hole? Supposedly? Maybe? Am I not correct in that?
And who might you be?
Ah, how rude of me. I am Melef. I am just a humble wizard. I just...
Humble, you say.
Yes, just a humble wizard.
Well, Melef, what do you know of the Goblin Hole?
Ah, I have seen the other side of this portal that you know.
You have.
Yes.
And what was there?
An army, to say the least. An army of goblins, hobgoblins, numbering
With
hundreds, maybe even thousands. I did not enter this portal, as you know. It would be suicide to enter alone.
I told you, don't go to the portal. Go on.
But I'm interested to hear this so-called Lazarus you speak of. This is the first time I have heard of his name. And this Orc Hunters Guild. That you've been speaking of.
well, we. I'm not too comfortable talking with complete strangers, but you do have information that could help us. We are trying to work out the motives of people inside the city and the motives of Lazarus. Lazarus, we know of as the possible creator of this portal, the person who is sending these goblins and hobgoblins through the portal. He is then taking those dead bodies with the use of the local Orc Slayers Guild and then recreating them, like animating them into another form, a black and white form that seem to be able to psychically project images that can then do harm to us.
Abominations of life.
And to the question that Melif posted in
Oh,
chat,
we do.
yes, Melif has a body of one, and I can produce it for you if you wanted to produce it to study it at this moment. I can make it happen.
Yes. Yes, well, we have like my good friend over there. We have a captured body that we brought back from when we had an altercation with them.
I must study this for just a few seconds here.
Yeah, there you go. It's on the table. It's quite disgusting.
He's the most attractive person ever.
You said this was the work of a necromancer, but I do not see
We're
this
not
man.
sure. We're not sure. We don't know exactly how he makes it. But it is the work of some form of process that he does on the dead to reanimate them in this form. It is
If I
new. I am also a wizard. I have never seen it, the likes of it.
If I would have to say, my guess is that it's not so much as necromancy as is more of a construct of sorts. A soulless body, it seems.
A lifeless body.
Created. Interesting. I must take notes.
He writes on his body.
Do you not have a familiar? As if you are a wizard. That would be one way that you can see inside the Orcslayers Guild without exposing yourself to danger.
That honestly never crossed my mind.
He does have a bat.
Yes, I do have a familiar. I have one exactly the same as you. It is Rumpel. He is a bat.
Mr. Fiddle screeches at the other bat.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, Rumpel, blow him a kiss. I also know that as a bat, that you probably heard every single thing that we said. That's probably not good manners, my friend.
But can you honestly blame me for having something that has such good hearing? It's just something of
course not.
I cannot help that he can hear this. I will still leave it up to you what your choice of actions are. But I would advise for going into the portal without help. It's
Yeah. We don't really think that we're going to go into the portal. That we do think would be a one-way trip with no way out. But it would be good to have a look at the outside of this complex to see if there is another way in or an easier way in. How did you get in? You said you saw the other side. How did you do that?
I was actually there when the portal opened and he has sent goblins through. I do
And you
know
just
that there. I was concealed. I waited and took my time and then left. I do know that there was at least 3 ones that were in command, it seemed. There could be more like them. They were definitely above these so-called hobgoblins and goblins that are the lower class in their hierarchy that I know of.
There are forces even more powerful than these hobgoblins. That could be extremely dangerous to go into. Good thing you didn't go through it.
No, his most certain death. I was hardly outnumbered. Even as the portal opened and it closed after they went through. It remained closed for a while the ones in command. It seemed like there was an internal struggle happening. Something that you could use to your advantage, maybe. As you said that there is renegades, goblin and hobgoblins that ran away. There might be more that you can turn towards this side to use.
Yes. So the people that were in charge of these portals, what races? What did they look like?
Frank, did I see who was actually operating it?
You saw hobgoblins, warlords.
But I'm saying exactly who operated the portal itself.
There were wizards behind the scenes. You were looking clearly at them, and there is a portal control panel on this side, but you don't know where the power source is.
But there were human wizards?
Mm-hmm.
Or
Yeah, there's human wizards in charge. The ones that were causing chaos for the troops and putting the hammer down on the troops were, of course, the hobgoblin warlords and the and the military people. But behind the scenes,
were there orcs in there also?
There were
at
orcs.
the time?
Those are all the military people. The people you were concerned with, the ones that he's asking about, are definitely
Okay.
the wizards on the other side, and you were paying note on them as well.
I did see this control panel that happened to be done by several wizards there that were of human race. So, well, I would assume that they are more higher up than these goblin warlords and hobgoblin warlords, and a few orcs too.
More enemies to bring to justice. Don't worry, I will be gentle if they do not resist.
Olaf continues to take more notes over this construct.
What does Culus think about all this?
Clueless. Well, Clueless thinks that the Orc Slayers Guild. What I think? I think the Orc Slayers Guild know what they're doing. I think that if they are handing over these bodies, then someone in that organization definitely knows and has dealings with this Lazarus. So if Lazarus is the key, the only way normally to get a key from someone is to follow them and get the key directly off them. We're not going to be able to get to Lazarus, but we could use the Orcslayers' contact to get to Lazarus. From our understanding of what old Cain has said about the Orc Hole, it is too heavily fortified for us alone to enter. And unless we find another entrance, and the portal being completely out of the picture, then unless we find another entrance, then a frontal assault would be death. I think our best option now is the Orc Slayers Guild. To move in there, to find out Lazarus's connection within there, and to follow him or go with him or some other manner. That is if Cloud and Edimus cannot find another way.
Do not worry. The mighty Timpos always finds a way.
Hmm.
Animus just nods because he's so not. He's so
He's
pissed because the
stone.
Vegemite bottle is empty.
Not the Vegemite bottle.
He's like shaking it on the counter, trying to like get more out of it.
He likes it. It's salty.
Yes. Clueless looks at Edimus. Edimus, if you like this black gunk, you should talk to Oka, touch him. He makes it. Like a druid makes good berries. It just comes out.
Sounds amazing. Maybe I could get his scrying number from you.
His scrying number?
I don't know.
That
No,
sounds like a thing to do.
Reaching. Sorry.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Edit that out.
No, it's perfect. Roll with it, man. It's good.
I do
I'm a
say.
warlock. That's how we get in touch with each other, man.
Exactly.
Oh, shit.
You get
Eddie is a warlock.
those...
And you guys all know him now. You can call him Eddie. You don't have to call him Edimus.
Okay. Edimus Rex.
How about Mus? Can we call him Mus?
Moth.
Oh, if it helps your insult, yes, you may.
Ooh, snap, yo.
Oh, Mataranga, you hurt my feelings. I would not insult you. I don't know you well enough to insult you yet. So, we have actions. Are we in agreement with these actions? And you little Melef, what do you think is the best course of action? We have proposed two. To infiltrate the Orc Slayers Guild. And second, to send a scouting party to reconnoiter the Orc Hole to see if there is another, less obvious, less defended way in. And we still have yet to discuss what we think we should do with the portal. Do we leave it? Do we collapse the cave? Do we brick it up? Do we do what?
The
These are
goblins
two-
are
two-
just.
Go ahead.
The portal in the Goblin Hole.
I say that there are two good ideas that must be explored both. But I do not believe you should think that Lazarus would be in charge. I always assume the worst in situations like this, Someone might always be above him. And what then do you do? If you take him out and you have someone else that's above him, you must always have a plan in place.
That will just be climbing the ladder. So far, we have climbed from the Goblin Hole to the Orc Slayers Guild, to the black and white monstrosities. Edimus is another rung. Once we cut that rung, then I guess we keep climbing.
Then I say we start at the Orc Hunters Guild to see what information we can find from there. Maybe that will shed light on the Oracle? Also?
Yes. Milf, is your bat male or female?
As you should know, familiars do not have a sex.
You would be surprised at what they have.
They can be anything that you want them to be. So, you all know soon enough.
Yes, I guess they will both know soon enough. So, Cloud, come back. Don't look at the bats. They're not pigeons. Cloud, Edimus,
I'm sorry.
you will take the map from Old Cain has given us and head off to the Orc Hole. Good luck, Godspeed. Make sure you don't get seen. And if you do, run. Like your lives will depend on it. Then, Ash, you as the most likely candidate. You need to approach the Orc Slayers Guild and gain entry and membership. Do whatever you can to get in. Don't piss them off. Get in. That is what you're meant to do. The rest of us, we need to work out what we're going to do with the portal in the Goblin Hole. The last thing I want for Lazarus to do is run out through a back door that we don't know about or that we did not block.
I see that it's going to be hard to trap someone of that arcane knowledge. Someone that can create these constructs can generate a portal anywhere, going anywhere. So
Probably so, but from your description, it seemed like they needed more than one person to operate these. And they probably take a considerable amount of time to build. Greatest fear will be he'll just teleport away. But if we can get in there, we can play it right. We should be able to stop him if we can silence him or some other manner. But anyway, if we disrupt his operation, it will leave this place safe.
I have a question. Does
What is it,
Lazarus even know that we're doing anything against him?
We
Like,
don't know that.
wouldn't affecting the
know.
portal like automatically give us away?
Yes, probably. But he does know that hundreds of people have gone through the Goblin Hole, and hundreds of goblins have been killed. He is not stupid. He would know that we have seen the evidence of this portal. And we do know it gets filled up via the portal, because where else do they come in? This hole is in the middle of the city. They don't walk through the streets. They don't fly. And they're not digging through the ground. So he would know that we know that he knows that we know.
Makes sense.
Locking it, it may be an inconvenience. But I'm sure that he has his agents, if not the Orc Slayers Guild. There will be others in this city that he has coerced. He would send them to unblock it. Or perhaps he doesn't need it anymore and he already has hundreds of black and white minions, enough to do what he will. If he unleashes those in the city, if he uses that portal and brings them into the inner city, the devastation would be huge.
Be like a stampede through a city. Wouldn't be anything left.
just perhaps, but this might be also the third route, as you say, blocking this portal or causing an inconvenience. If that were to draw his companions out of the city to go unblock it, we can stay and wait and capture them and question them.
Ooh. An ambush. An excellent tactic.
We would know that they have direct connection with him, as he sent them to unblock the portal.
That is another option. Once we do block it, we should leave someone there that can watch to see who comes to unblock it, if anyone comes at all. If he can set up a portal there, then he could set up a portal anywhere. But he must, I'm assuming, set up the portal on board.
Okay, Detain, we lost you there.
Oh, did you? Can you hear me now?
You're back. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, leaving someone to watch the portal after we block it would be advantageous to see who does come to unblock it, if anyone comes at all. But these portals, we can assume that they need someone to make the opposite end. So the Goblin Hole needs to be created. We make these for him.
Do you have any ideas on how to disturb this portal?
Put a big rock on it. Hard to move a big rock.
Not if you can turn it into a pebble.
Have we tried smashing it?
Frank, do we have anybody that makes spell inhibitors?
Spell inhibitors?
Mm-hmm.
That would be... I mean, you could cast a spell magic at a very high level, but that's going to be really hard to do. And something like that is going to be, it's arcane markings on the ground. So it's like a glyph. So it's definitely going to be hard to mess with magically. Eventually, what you're going to do is you're going to be ending up, face to face with the wizard behind it, and you can guarantee he's powerful. So that would be a face-to-face confrontation kind of situation. I don't think you want that right now. Right now, you're still in a mode of digging information up, figuring out who your enemy is, so that you can drop some bombs on them. And you guys have lots of opportunities right now. So, how far are you guys from? How far is everybody from being sure about their plan of action? Is there anybody else anybody that's unsure and wants to ask more questions? How do you guys feel right now?
I'm fucking totally down for sending the paladin and the warlock turtle on a stealth mission.
Who is the paladin?
Edimus?
Cloud. Edimus is the warlock. But you know what? They both night mission. I want to say both dark vision.
Yeah.
And Edimus can blast motherfuckers for days away.
Does he got devil sight?
Devil sight plus
darkness?
enrage or whatever.
Okay.
No, he doesn't have darkness, but
okay.
He's got agonizing blast and devil sight.
Okay.
And we're on the recon team back into the Goblin Hole, right?
Sounds good. Yeah, sounds like the thing to do.
So yeah, we can see in the dark, and we can do some damage.
Nice.
So it might not be the stealthiest crew alive, but
it's not like he's got turtle power, so he doesn't have all that chainmail clinking around, right?
Yeah.
And Cloud's
zero disadvantage on stealth.
And Cloud's got that natural armor too, right?
Cloud doesn't, but he's only got a breastplate.
Okay. Darkness is only a second level spell. Why doesn't Edimus have it?
I don't know. I haven't got around. I haven't played Edimus in an eternity.
Yeah. No, just check it out, because if he's got devil sight, then it's definitely hop, skip, and a jump to use devil sight along with darkness.
Oh yeah, no, I haven't visited his spells in a minute.
Super beastie. All right, go ahead. All right, so like I said, I wanted to kind of put a cap on things here. I think we've got sounds like a plan. Everybody sure about the plan and what the orders are? Does anybody want to recap them and just restate what they think they're going to do, so we can make sure we've all got a clear head on our shoulders of what we're doing?
What's Clueless, Monthrog, Melif, and Orem going to do while the turtle and the cat are going to be infiltrating? And
we're going to work out what we're going to do with the portal.
Oh, all right.
Yes, we must clear out the Goblin Hole first before we are to interact with this portal.
So you guys will all go to the Goblin Hole, and certain people will lead the way, but other people will be there ready to be assisting, right? Is that what I'm hearing?
Wait, what?
So, if I'm not mistaken, what Ash Tree is going to
I'm gonna be
The
filling
Orc
up my
Hunters
backpack.
Guild, and then Edimus and Cloud are going to go off at night and observe the Orc Hole.
Yeah.
And then the rest of us are going to go clear out the Goblin Hole and work with the portal, right? Interfering with it.
Okay. Are we all going to do this all at the same time, or do you guys want to go in sequence?
So I missed that, Frank.
So, are we going to do this all at the same time, or are we going to do this in sequence?
Well, we should probably do it in a sequence. I think that. Well, no, pretty much the same time. We need to work out a plan of exactly what we're going to do with the Goblin Hole,
Okay.
which means that we should probably go into the Goblin Hole and make sure it's clear, but not until I think that Ash and the scouting mission should go now.
Okay.
And because Ash is probably going to take a while. I don't know how he's going to do it. He's going to have to use his brains, but it's not going to be as easy as just walking up and saying, "Hey, can I hang out with the leader of the Orc Slayers Guild?"
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
It's going to be a bit more detailed than that.
Yep. No, it makes sense.
Now, and the other two scouting mission, yeah, they go on that now. That will take a bit of time, but it's definitely not going to take as long as Ash. And we have to work out what we want to do with the portal, which, like I said, is either leave it alone, collapse the cave, or do something to the cave, or
I lost you, Detain.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're coming through
Yeah,
super
I think your
choppy.
transmission went around the moon on the way back to us from Australia. That is the most thoughtful moment
A
ever.
cloud got in between the satellite. This is actually kind of cool.
Yeah, it's super cool. You must be
Clear
doing
it,
this on purpose.
but we need to do it quickly because through. So we not.
Yep, we got it.
He's probably not getting much of our shit. I can tell right now.
No, he got it. We got it all. It was a really thoughtful moment there. But yeah, I think you're right. So let's put a
All
pin.
I know is Max Headroom's got a good plan.
Oh man, Max Headroom loved that shit. Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Good.
Throwing it back.
So we're ready. We can put a pin in this. I'm going to stop the recording, and we'll get ready to do the next big thing. This whole entire recording happened around a table.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
Cool.
I thought it was cool. All right, and pause.